Hello, so this will be my first review question of my AS Media production titled The Hunter. And this question I will be addressing is, in what ways does your media product use, develop, or challenge forms and conventions of real media products? Now, the first thing to talk about is the level of research we went into whilst finding out about our genre, which was crime. We analysed three different crime genre films, and we looked at all of the conventions within these films to try and implement into our own video. Now, we did come across problems, should I say? Not problems, but originally, as you'll see in another video I made, we had to change the idea of what we were doing, because we originally planned to have a stalker scene where a man would chase another man or stalk another man into his garage, but instead we changed that because the conventions usually go along with a man stalking another woman instead of a man. And when we presented this to our target audience, they felt that the conventions weren't quite right, and it didn't seem natural to have a man chasing after another man, as to what the films show. And this was also found in our research. So instead what we did is we changed it into a vigilante type of stalker, where he's not actually stalking him, it's more of a creepy sort of, actually it's a less creepy way of a male stalking female. It's more of a sort of violent sort of action instead of creepy. Okay, so this little clip here was taken from Death Wish, Death Wish Full, and this basically just shows, this is kind of the idea we wanted of the characters, as in the men, because as you can see they're wearing black, you can't see their faces, and this obviously shows that this is typical in a stalker, vigilante killer sort of thing. So we felt that having our character, or the killer, wearing black, and you never actually get to see his face in our video, which is what appears to be current in this video as well. So I believe that we went towards those kind of conventions, which shows that our film goes towards traditional conventions of a crime film. In contrast, however, we also see that the victim is a female and the killer is a male, which isn't the case in our video. It is instead a male chasing a male, which does go against conventions of this type of film as what we see here. However, it fitted a lot better to the film we wanted, because there was a motive of his girlfriend instead of his girlfriend being the motive of the killing. So his girlfriend was used to get to him instead of the female being the innocent victim. She was a victim, but she was used to get to the male character. So in a way, our film challenges this convention. However, the little twist we put on it sort of changes that, and the fact that it's normal for a vigilante stalker to be chasing another man instead of the female, because there's two male dominant characters, so it's quite a lot different. Another aspect of this clip that I felt very necessary to look at was the use of lighting. Now, as you can see there, the killer he's in the dark. However, there is one piece of light just shining right onto him, but you never get to see their face. Now, the fact that he's in the shadows creates the sort of feeling that he's a bad character. You don't really want to know who he actually is because of that tension factor. And we did the same in the fact that we had low-key lighting in our video, just lit with small candle lights. So this idea of light and low-key lighting definitely goes towards the conventions of more of a horror sort of violent type of crime film like we were trying to achieve, which is also apparent in this clip, as we can see. Okay, so this is another film we looked at. It's quite different in the fact that, unlike the last one we watched, this is a vigilante killer. The boy goes around killing people for basically what they've done wrong. Again, traditional conventions that we can see are he's wearing all black clothing. He's trying to keep himself to himself by wearing a hat. He puts on makeup. Everything is black. So you hardly get to see any of his facial features, which again connotes that he doesn't want to be seen. He wants to be kept undercover, which is the same kind of conventions and stereotypes that we wanted to go within our film. Now, one of the main things to pick up on is a little scene just there where the character profiling, shall we say, on the wall is basically being shown. I can assume from the trailer that that is the part where he does all of his planning for who he's going to kill. And in the same way, it was very low lighting. The woman actually had to have a torch. So there's a clip again. The woman had to have a torch to be able to see. This is almost identical to what we did in our clip, in the fact that the character profiling, and you can see what this killer is planning, sort of goes towards the conventions of this type of genre. It's not sort of a crime where someone just goes and stabs someone. It's planned, but it's not too. I can't think of a word. It's not too specific. It's not like an FBI sort of ordeal. It's just a boy, a vigilante killer, who goes out and does what he needs to, basically. So overall, I feel we were very successful in following the traditional conventions of real media and professional media. We followed the conventions of the crime film like we planned. However, we did have to challenge this in some cases. For example, having to change the plot because of the characters that we're using were both male. So we had to do more of a vigilante killing than a sort of creepy stalker. So we challenged it in that convention. However, we did change and decide to follow the conventions after portraying this to target audience. I felt the way we used props, such as clothing, to portray the characters definitely went towards conventions with all the black clothing. Also, the lighting was very important to us in this. It's very hard to film this lighting to get it all right. However, I think it was worth it. And the fact that we definitely followed the conventions, as you've seen in the clips that I've previously just shown to you. The fact that usually a criminal, such as a vigilante criminal, like we were planning, doesn't want to be open and out in public. He wants to be, sort of enclosed in his own little world. Doesn't want to be discovered. So I felt that we did a very good job with that, to follow traditional forms of media in the crime genre.